All right, 6SP.1 means 6.Statistics and Probability Lesson 1. That's what the S and the P stands for. We're going to recognize statistical questions, which is going to be harder than it sounds like. It's kind of tricky, so make sure you're thinking. A statistical question is a question that should have different answers. In math terminology, they're questions in which you would expect variable answers. So variability is a key to this. If you ask a question that only has one answer, one possible answer, it's not statistical. If it has variable answers, it is. So let's write that down in your notes. To recognize a statistical question, decide if there's an exact answer. These questions are not, that's a misspelling, and I already know it, so don't tell me. Statistical. Those questions are not statistical. Okay. Then see if you need to answer with a percent or a range or an average. These questions are statistical. You're going to pay attention to the examples and you'll see what we mean. So, how old are you? Is it statistical or not statistical? There's only one answer. A person can only answer one way, truthfully. How old are you? So that question is a non-statistical question. When you think of statistics, you should think of percents or fractions of things, a range of answers. So if you're going to answer that 20% of the population is, or 30% of the class likes Mountain Dew, then that's a statistical kind of question. So next question. How old are the students in this room? Okay, notice the similarity in the questions. First, how old are you? Non-statistical. How old are the students in the room? Well, you can't just say one answer. It depends which ones you're talking about. So you might say 30% of the students are 11, or half of the class is 14 or 13 and half is 12, something like that. Since the answers are variable, that is a statistical question. It requires statistics to give a good answer. Next questions. Does it rain more in Wenatchee or Quincy? So that could be either kind of question. You'd have to be more specific. I would say that it's a statistical question because it may rain more in Wenatchee in the spring, or it may rain more in Wenatchee in the summer, and maybe it rains more in Quincy at a different time. It kind of depends. So I would say that's statistical. And the next question is, Mr. Hab faster than Mrs. Carlson in a 100-meter run? You're going to run a 100-meter race and you're going to find out one answer to that. It doesn't depend on other things. So he either is or he isn't, so that is not statistical. So we're going to write in non-statistical there. All right, so other examples. Don't put these in your notes. Favorite stores at the mall. We've got types of store and then a percent. There's the types of stores. There's the percent of, I'm assuming, people that have those as their favorite. Question is, which question is most likely to have produced these results? Notice that it says which question, so only one of these are a correct answer. Do you like shopping at the mall? That doesn't have anything to do with your favorite types of stores at the mall. So that's not a question that could be answered or that would have gotten those results. What's the name of the last store? No, obviously not. What type of music? No. What is your favorite type of store to shop in when you go to the mall? Yeah, favorite stores at the mall. Here's the types. So yes, that's the answer. Next question. Identify which questions are statistical and which questions are not statistical. Drag each into the appropriate category. All right. What is the favorite menu item for customers at the local restaurant? Okay, so certain customers are going to like certain kinds of things. It might change during different seasons. That's going to be it might change depending on the menu. The menu might change. There's variability in that question, so I would say that is statistical. Okay. What time do most people eat their lunches? Well, there's a lot of variabilities in that. Who knows? You're going to need to give types of people. That's statistical. What did my dad eat for lunch today? You'd find out, and there's just the one answer. That is not statistical. There's a single answer to that. What do 7th graders prefer to eat for lunch? Well, the football players like steak, and the younger kids like Captain Crunch cereal. So it varies. So that's statistical. Not everybody likes to eat the same thing. All right? Hopefully you're getting an idea of what statistical and non-statistical means. In a survey about practice time per week for high school athletes, 22% practice 1 hour, 40% practice 2 hours, 25% practice 3 hours, 10% 4 hours, and 3% practice more than 4 hours. Which one question is most likely to have produced these results? So if you ask, what's the average practice time per week by your sport? That seems likely. I think that's a possibility. So I'm going to keep that one in mind. How much time do you spend on homework? This has nothing to do with homework. Is practice time normally longer on Mondays than Tuesdays? Doesn't talk about the days of the week. Which sport practices the most? That's not that. So it's going to be this first one. What is the average practice time per week required by your sport? And there's the results of that. Next question. Jessica conducted a survey using a representative sample of 50 customers from 3 local landscaping businesses in town. She found that 30% purchased maple trees, 24% purchased dogwoods, 20% purchased oaks, and 16% pines. 10% chose other types of trees. Which statements about the survey that Jessica conducted are most likely to be true? Notice that it says statements, so there's more than one possible answer. Do you think it's true that Jessica surveyed only the customers who purchased a tree? I do, because in her results, that's the only thing that's talked about is trees. And I'm pretty sure a nursery or a landscaping business would sell more than just trees, but these results were all about trees. Jessica asked customers what type of tree they purchased. I believe she must have. Jessica asked customers what types of plants they have in their yard. No. The sample consists of 50 customers from 3 local landscaping businesses. Yeah, 50 customers, 3 local landscaping businesses. There it is. All right. Oh, and another question. Almost missed it. The population Jessica wants to know about consists of any customer of any landscaping business. She probably does. That's why she asked 3 different landscaping businesses, and that's why she asked 50 different customers. So she probably wants to know, in general, what any customer of any landscaping business would want. All right, so let's check your knowledge of statistical questions. Write 1 statistical question and 1 non-statistical question. Good luck. See you soon.